Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome, Arkansas fans, to the Tusk Talk with Ty postgame live show. Hope you guys are all doing swell. The luscious locks are flowing, and the Razorbacks are winning. They're winning games. They're doing it finally in SEC play. Maybe not as consistently as we would like, but by God, they're doing just enough. Hey, make sure you guys like, share, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, please fire away in the chat. We have a poll up for you on your on the chat screen. Can Arkansas win out at home? 82% of you say yeah, I think so. I think they win out at home. I think they can. Tonight was not all pretty. Let's not sit here and act like it was like the greatest hoops we've watched all year. In fact, there were even moments in the second half that was kind of not great. But they were able to hang on to a decent lead. Didn't quite get up where I thought it would be. In terms of total points for one, I definitely bet on the over. Don't think they hit that tonight. But, kind of thought we would see a little bit more of an offensive explosion. However, it would help first off if Aduthero, wouldn't get in some, early foul trouble. I think he picked up 2 early fouls within the first 6 minutes of the game. That's something you just can't have happen. That's just something that it just cannot happen. That can't happen. Thero needs to be in the game, and especially in games like this. It's going to be a little physical. LSU doesn't mind bumping. I mean, you saw how physical they were when Arkansas tried to drive. Very difficult to finish at the rim. Of course, that's kind of been a problem for Arkansas this year anyways. They are not the best team when it comes to making layups or putbacks or cleanups. That's just not something they're great at doing. At least they won, right? But again, they had to kind of scratch and claw there for a little bit. They had to play down in the dirt, a little ugly there with LSU. Big Z once again doing his thing, right? Doing his thing. I mean, you got to appreciate what he's been bringing to the table lately, right? You got to love it. So. I appreciate all the retweets and whatnot. I do appreciate that. I realize there's not a lot of you doing it, but I appreciate those of you that do it. So thank you for sharing the content on the socials. Can Arkansas win out at home? That is the question. 78% of you right now saying yes. Mofeezy78 says dicey, but they got right. Honestly, B. Rich was the difference in the second half, stats or not. I agree. Loved that energy from Billy. From Billy Rich, baby. From B. Rich. You want to be rich? Be rich. Be Richmond. That's what you do. Laugh out loud. Big Z going pro, Edward. We got some Big Z trash talking in chat. Is that what's going on? Did you guys see Cal get a little upset there before half? Did you guys see this? Cal was pissed.
LSU. Big Z now guarding the ball. This is victorious Miller, nothing but nylon. As Coach Cal.
He threw his pin. Cal threw his pin. He was pissed. I appreciate everyone in Discord helping me out with that. I couldn't find it on Twitter, and I asked for it in Discord, and you guys sent it to me, so I do appreciate that. That was great. Cal, we all kind of thought, early on in SEC play, man, he's just kind of coaching like he's just here and nothing else really. And things have changed lately. He's I'm not sure I've seen that. I'm not sure I've seen that this year where he's throwing very almost Musselman-like, huh? It's good to see he's still got it in him. I'll just say that. Yeah, exactly. Hey, can't say that man isn't dispassionate anymore, LOL, right? Do we want to see that again? I want to see that again. Hang on. Well, it's not playing it. There it goes.
Big Z now
Look at this.
the ball.
Why he throws his hands up?
Nothing but nylon.
Good form, too, on the pin throw. I love it. Good form. Oh, man. And he just walked. He just walked right to the lockers. He just kept walking. Like, you got to be kidding me. They definitely came out in the second half, played with a little bit more fire. It was definitely impressive to see them. Listen, this is who they've been all year. And I've said this time and time again. Don't just don't get blown out in the first half. Keep it close. I don't care if you were playing Ramey Junior High, once known as the Indians. Not anymore. I don't care if you're playing Ramey Junior High, the 9th grade team. If they're I mean, don't get me wrong, yeah, that would be sad and horrific, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter. They've played these kind of gross games in the first half, or they're trailing by double digits, or they're trailing most of the first half by 8 or 9 points, and then they come out and play some of their best ball in the second half. And you got to give credit not just to the execution on the floor, or them finding their offensive rhythm and their flow. Not just that, but it's also absolutely the coaching and what I believe is happening in the locker room. And also, you could tell, I mean, they'll change things up. You'll see a little bit more full court press. They'll switch things up a little bit on defense. They'll run different design plays coming out of timeouts or TV timeouts or whatever. They get a little bit more at times. They get a little bit more aggressive. They seem to be getting better. What we've seen is, like, they'll drive the paint and they're better at absorbing contact, drawing the foul, and having a presence, down and around the post on both ends of the floor. By the way, speaking of post play, Jonas Adu, I don't know. I'm not saying he was, like, incredible, but defensively, that guy was altering shots. I know I counted at least one shot. I haven't even looked at the stats tonight. I don't know what we're in for as far as minutes played and everything, but we're about to look into that here in just a second. But was kind of impressed with him a little bit tonight. Like, we saw the lights come on, and they talked about how he I guess Calipari talked to his team, talked to his players, and said, who wants to see Jonas Adu get more minutes? That's what happened tonight. Now, I'm sure some of that was, it was the matchup, and it's why you saw Brazil and Adu on the floor as much. I'm sure Cal saw something on tape or based on the way they played the last time that, okay, we need to make these adjustments. These guys are going to get a few more minutes. That's exactly what happened. But it was good to see. And I think Jonas, for the most part, I'm not saying he was an All-American tonight. I'm not even saying he was an All-Conference player tonight. But I thought Adu played pretty well. And Brazil had a few pretty good possessions, I thought. They're so much longer than LSU, and this really should be a matchup nightmare for the Tigers. And again, you got to give them all the credit in the world. The first time they beat you at home at their place, then they come in here and they made it a pretty good game. It's not like Arkansas dominated this game tonight, not at all. But you got to give them credit. It was, for the most part, outside of that freshman, I'm blanking on the kid's name, who went off tonight. He was eating Big Z's lunch. He was eating anybody's lunch. But I'm pretty sure I watched Adu guard him pretty well tonight. But outside of that, some ISO play a little bit there out of one guy. Like, outside of that, like, no one was really getting easy buckets around the rim on Arkansas. Like, again, they are showing that they can be one of the better rim-protecting defenses in the league. And that is something else, right? And their perimeter defense is pretty good tonight. It wasn't, like, elite. Again, there was definitely some screens that open things up. Arkansas struggles off those ball screens no matter where they're happening, whether they're down low or outside. They struggle off the switch. They're a little slow, and it provides wide open looks outside. We did see some of that tonight. But imagine if they played, again, and we say this so often, imagine if they played great inside-outside basketball. Like, around the post, around the 15, no mid-range, no easy mid-range looks, which, to be honest, I don't think they have given up a lot of those. And imagine also if they played incredible outside perimeter defense, in the way that we kind of thought this team would be designed to do this year to a degree, and we just didn't see enough of that this year. And we haven't at all. We haven't seen good inside-outside play, and I'm talking about on defense. The biggest problem on offense has been their half-court offense has just been kind of gross. LSU kind of brought Arkansas down into the mud with them tonight, and Arkansas weathered the storm quite nicely. That's all they need from Adu Brazil. Rebound, defend, play hard. That is exactly right, Bobby Shiz. Point right there. Give Bobby Shiz. I don't care if he's in our Discord or not. Give him 5,000 XP. That's it. That's all you need from those guys. And I think they did exactly what you want. Don't get me wrong. You would love it if these guys could add more offensively. You know, if I don't know, you had a little bit more offensive play out of a couple of these guys. Remember, there was a time when we thought Brazil was going to be that guy, and it just never happened. Deserves zero credit. That Jonas, boy, Camo, you are a hater, dude. Camo, oh my God. You didn't watch the game tonight, my man. If you think he deserves zero credit, I question everything about anything that you've ever said that's had some legitimacy behind it. I question that when you're saying Jonas deserves zero credit. I thought he played defensively as well as he has all year, and he earned those minutes that he got on the defensive end of the floor. Wish Adu in Brazil had half the fight of Thero. Well, Thero's a different kind of player, right? Thero's a different kind of player. Thero is a true two-way player. First round pick. I mean, he's a different kind of athlete. He's a different caliber of player than those two. Ty, I really like Richmond. Getting better and better. Yeah, he is getting better and better. He's getting more and more comfortable, which is something I really like to see out of him. He's getting more and more comfortable. Big Z turning out to be our best player, best overall player. It's nice when you lose a Boogie Fland and then you gain DJ Wagner at the point, and Big Z, like the whole thing just opens up. You know, Nelly Davis caught fire there for a little while. You know, like I'm talking about lately. So yeah, let's look at these numbers. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to refresh ESPN here. So LSU tonight shot, I mean, they were bad. I'm actually surprised what I'm looking at here. I'm a little surprised they even shot 39%. I would have guessed like 35, 34%. They were 39%, 25 of 64, 5 of 20 outside. I think the defense deserves a lot of credit tonight. LSU, some shots were just not dropping, and that's always going to be the case no matter what, especially when you're on the road, right? Right? I mean, sure, and Bud Walton wasn't exactly rocking tonight, but still. And then they were 50% at the free throw line. Arkansas did not foul tonight. This was not a night where I thought, my God, Arkansas is getting away with murder tonight. They're really getting home cooking. Didn't see much of that tonight. Were there some? Sure. Did they miss some calls? As always, as we talk about every freaking postgame show, because someone always says, well, you didn't mention, what was going on with this or that, Ty, with the officiating. But tonight, I thought Arkansas just played good, really solid defense. They did it without getting into a whole bunch of foul trouble. Like, really, you had just DJ Wagner and Thero. Of course, ESPN's wrong. ESPN says he only had one foul. There's no way that's right. Oh, ESPN. Let me pull up the Thero had 2 fouls. Who said he had 1 foul? Thought he picked up 2. Okay, well, I guess, I don't know. I feel like that needs to be looked at. I could have sworn he had 2 fouls in the opening half. Well, we know these stat sheets aren't always right. But anyways, I thought they played great hands-off basketball. They did it without fouling, man. They did it without racking up a bunch of fouls and getting LSU to the free throw line a lot tonight. So you got to really like that. LSU also from their bench, and they're deep. They're really deep. They got a lot of point production from their bench. Of course, Robert Miller's the freshman I couldn't think of at the time. 8 of 13, 16 points. That man was balling. Got to give Robert Miller some love. I mean, Robert Miller was killing Arkansas. He was killing Big Z. He was eating them up. Number 6, yeah, 16 points. Well, there's two Millers. Victorious Miller is also, that's the freshman from, where'd they say he was from? Could have sworn they said Los Angeles. Yeah, Los Angeles, California, 9 points. He was eating them up too. He had 9 points. They were very, very difficult to guard. I mean, when they drove to the rim, you just felt like they were gonna get. That's where they're gonna get their points. They're gonna get their points as close as possible to the rim. Yeah, Robert Miller III is the freshman forward who was just a real problem. 6'10", 220 pounds. He's out of Houston, Texas. And this is not a guy that does a lot this year, okay? This is a guy that averages 3 points, 3 boards a game. And tonight, he just ate him up. 13 points from Cam Carter, and so they were able to limit. I mean, they're starting 5. They got all their, like, the vast majority of their point production came from their bench. Just, good bench play. Unfortunately, they don't have the top-end athletes on the floor. They don't have it. LSU just does not have it. I think they're probably one of the least talented teams in this league. I wouldn't have had them anywhere near the top 8. No one really liked these guys, and they're kind of showing why. They're now 1-10 in conference play. Arkansas 4-7, 15-9. Cam Carter tonight, again, 4 of 15. He was 3 of 7 outside. LSU shooting 5 of 20, not great, and 50% at the free throw line. Offensive boards, once again, LSU, from what I remember, not a great offensive rebounding team. And yet again, tonight, they're +3 over Arkansas in this category. Like, I don't know what's going on here with that. Like, Arkansas, if it's just boxing out or not being at the right place at the right time, I'm not sure. Sometimes, of course, personnel on the floor matters, and, what's going on with the defense and where these guys are, what's going on around the post. All this stuff matters when you're in position to get rebounds, right? Like, you've got to be – I don't know if it's just these guys are easy to push. The one thing I will say, like, Adu tonight, I thought for the most part was pretty good on the boards. He had 5 defensive boards, but that was really it. Arkansas had just 7 offensive rebounds. Just 7. Who the hell had them all? Hold on. Let's see. So Billy Richmond. I don't know where the other offensive boards are coming from, but Adu Thero had 2, Knox had 1, Wagner had 1. But they're giving 7 to the Razorbacks, and I don't know where the other 4 are at. Well, anyways, 39 total rebounds for Arkansas. Compare that to LSU's. Well, I think their stat people tonight are having some problems because some of this is not making a lot of sense. 33. So Arkansas do win the rebounding battle. They win this by +6, 39 to their 33. So that's good, right? What did LSU do as far as assist to turnovers? They had 13 total assists, 9 turnovers, so they were +4 in the assist to turnover category. But they committed, more fouls than Arkansas. And again, their starting 5 was kind of cheeks tonight for LSU. 58 points, man. That's not great. So what did Arkansas do? They shot really well, 52%, 28 of 54 shooting. Not a lot of outside. I mean, we kind of knew this was going to happen. They're going to limit their threes, especially against teams that are built like LSU, where you've got that size advantage over them. Not shocked. Am I a little surprised they weren't closer to like 16, 17 attempts outside? Maybe a little bit, but I'm not shocked they only took 12 shots. But 4 of 12, 33.3%. They were not good at the free throw line, 58%. That's just shy of – they're just shy of 59% at 58.9, again, making just 10 of 17. Not great free throw shooting. Hopefully this is a one-off. Adu Thero was 2 of 4. Again, 7 boards, offensive boards. Don't know where they're all at because they're just now adding these up. Okay, they just added another one. They gave Knox. Yeah, I think the scorekeeper might be something's not right here. Some of these numbers are just all over the place. But again, 17 assists, just 8 turnovers. Arkansas continues that trend of better ball movement, catching the guy open, helping create shots, and not turning the ball over. Just 8 turnovers tonight. Single-digit TOs you love, man. You're all about that. Low fouls, 10 team fouls tonight, and 8 turnovers. And then again with the 17 assists. Those are winning numbers. I'd love to see those second chance points go up. I'd love to see the offensive boards go up. I'd love for this team to be about a 44 to 45 total boards a night, depending on what the opponent's doing, right? If they're making shots, then you may not rack up the boards. But, would love to see that from a statistical standpoint. Would like to see, bring those fouls, keep them around, or excuse me, not fouls, turnovers, keep them around 6 or 7 a game. 8's not that bad. And then, 17 assists. That's a pretty good place to start. They, DJ Wagner, once again. I mean, this guy, what is he averaging? Like 6 assists a game right now in the last 5-6 games? Wagner, I mean, again, he's so close to having a double-double with points and assists. 10 points, 7 assists. Now, the real fun part, leading scorer for the night, Big Z, 25 points. Big Z with 25 points, man. Love to see it. 4 blocks, 1 steal, 3 boards. Not a great night as far as rebounds, but we know they had some other people for that tonight. Big Z, they just wanted to float around out on the perimeter, and when you do that too, that's also going to lessen the likeliness of getting some offensive boards. Not that he's a heavy offensive rebounder, but 25 points, man, 4 blocks. He also had, we said the 1 steal and the 3 boards, not too shabby. Second leading scorer was John L. Davis, 11 points. He was 0 for 2 outside. 3 of 5 at the line, 4 of 13 overall shooting. So, yeah, I think we all know. Oh, let's get this heavy. We know who's getting this. I mean, we don't even have to. Big Z getting the gold chain tonight. Big Z. Who would have thought, man? Coming into SEC play, I don't know. We were talking about how this was going to be Boogie Fland. You guys remember we said it was going to be Boogie Fland and Adu Thero getting this gold chain. Remember? We were talking about this in chat, man. And what happened? The opposite. It's Big Z. Of course, it's not Boogie Fland's fault. He got a little injured. There you go. Big Z's going to get the gold chain. Congrats to Big Z. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company. Same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than best results. They bring you this chain. As a matter of fact, you can see it right there. DSO, garage doors right there on the bottom. Better than best, baby. Hundreds of 5-star reviews. Give them a call at 501-244-3667. That's Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company. Gotta love it. That's Cal's adopted child. Cal won't let him leave. Talking about Big Z. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the plan is for Big Z. Hey, make sure you guys share. Share the content. Okay? Like it. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We play better on the road than at home. Yeah, they haven't played some of their best ball at home. There's no doubt about that. As ugly as it was tonight, they still won by 12. What was the spread? Was it 9? 9.5? Let me double check that. What was the spread tonight? Yeah, it was 9. That's right. So Arkansas did cover the spread. They did that much. They did that much tonight. Oh, and, get the win too. That's always great. Big Z will be a better pro player than college player, says Peanut Butter Posse. I think you might be right. Maybe. He's kind of growing into his own. Ty, did Carter Knox grow? He looks like he's grow. I don't know what you mean, Charles. I mean, is he? Are you asking if he's physically growing, or are you saying like as a player he's growing? I don't know. Maybe I don't know what you're really asking me. He looked a little better tonight. I mean, listen, the guy shot 4 of 5. 1 of 2 outside. He was 0 for 2 at the free throw line, and he had 8 boards tonight. I mean, again, this is a guy that came close to a double-double. Like, maybe this is his game. Maybe this is kind of – if we can expect these kind of numbers out of him, and I don't know that that's going to be the case, one night doesn't make that it doesn't make it the norm. But maybe we can – if we can get more out of him – and he's kind of had these moments the last several games where it's like, all right, I kind of see what he can do. Not someone that I find myself complaining much about on the defensive end of the floor. Maybe I'm wrong. Arkansas again with 7 blocks. Big Z with 4, 25 points, 3 boards, 1 steal. That's why he got the gold chain tonight. Big Z, congrats with the gold chain. It's awesome. Knox looks like a smaller version of Theo. Oh, goodness. Let's go into some deeper numbers. First, starting with LSU, 36 points in the paint because they took care of business. I mean, again, a lot of their shots tonight, that's where they were at. They took, don't get me wrong, 20 shots outside, definitely, 8 more than Arkansas took outside, but they had so many opportunities inside. And when it came to actually trying to finish at the rim, it was not great for them. They were 11 of 23 on layups. That is awful. That's not good, man. That's really bad. 11 of 23 is not great. They're 3 for 3 on dunks, 4 fast break points, 8 points off turnovers, 16 second chance points. Again, 10 offensive rebounds provides more opportunities. And that is exactly what LSU did, man. I mean, that's how they were able to kind of hang around. They just kept getting offensive board after offensive board. Got to figure that out. Got to get that part of the game. Like, you'd feel so much more comfortable about the rest of this season if we could see Arkansas dabble into about 12 to 14 offensive boards a night. Like 12 be a low number and 14 be about the average on the offensive boards. And again, it always matters like where the other team is shooting. You're not gonna have as many. Well, again, that's more defensive rebounds. But on the offensive end, like if you're shooting and you're making everything and you're shooting 60%, then obviously that's going to lower your odds of getting offensive boards. But it just feels like other teams, they're either going to have a hell of a night on you on offensive rebounding for them, right? They're going to get more shots. They're going to get more opportunities because of second chance points, because of the offensive rebounding. And Arkansas's kind of always left there like, I don't know, they're just not a good rebounding team, whether it be offensive or defensive. And that's got to be the thing that they get figured out before you get to March. Like, and I'm not saying that they need to be a 45 rebound team per night. I'm not saying that, but let's limit their second chance points. Let's limit their opportunities. Again, if it's just as simple as boxing out, better. I don't know. It seems like they ought to have that part down, especially when you got someone like Jonas Adu, who's a really good defensive player for Tennessee and a guy that could work both ends of the floor for the Vols. And Brazil certainly has experience and is capable. He can be an aggressive rebounder. You see him leap for rebounds all the time. Like, let's just figure this out. Let's get this to a point where, again, the average can be about 12 offensive boards a night. And maybe 12 is like it's like kind of what you're disappointed in, not really like excited about. And let's get a little bit more aggressive on the defensive boards as well. Again, it could just be as simple as just the way Arkansas runs things. It just doesn't provide those opportunities. But I've seen them just get completely boxed out, get outmaneuvered, get out hustled at times on these loose balls. And then also it's just being at the right place at the right time, things that are out of your control. I think that's the end of their game that is preventing them from kind of getting over that offensive hump. Is cleaning up around the rim, either getting putbacks or just getting second chance opportunities. Like, that's the thing I think that if this team could figure it out, it's your game elevates. Automatically it elevates. It's more opportunities. It's more shot opportunities. So, again, LSU's not got much to brag about either, though. Again, 11 and 23 on layups. They struggled, and again, that had a lot to do with Arkansas defending the rim. What did Arkansas do? They had 9 bench points, of course. I mean, that's about the average. They don't have a lot of help off the bench. There's not much you can do about that. 40 points in the paint, 7 points off turnovers, 9 opponent turnovers, just 6 second chance points, 7 offensive boards, 7 fast break points, 9 of 20 on layups. 9 of 20. They were a perfect 5 of 5 on dunks, but 9 of 20, man. That's 11 missed opportunities. You know, they're not going to be the easiest in this league. It's not like you should be 20 of 20 or 19 of 20 or 18 of 20, but 9 of 20 is gross, and we've seen this before. This is not shocking to anybody that Arkansas's layup numbers are not great. You're less than 50% on layups. And this goes back to like watching, and not that it was Nelly's fault tonight, but we've seen nights where Nelly, just this last game, we saw him like he doesn't know what to do with his body when he's near the rim. He doesn't know what to do with it, or if he's got a fast break opportunity and he's got a moment there at the rim where he could just finish. He doesn't know how. This is crazy to me. What he could do at FAU, some of the things he could do there has not translated here. Sure, it's a tougher league, but my God, he played in the Final Four. Was a huge part of that run. And it's just he has these off and on nights. He's just wildly inconsistent. For the most part, again, double-digit night for him. That's great. And he didn't take a whole bunch of threes. I think he made a couple of nice mid-range shots tonight. I like seeing that. That is old school basketball. Just those 15-footers, just those little floaters, just getting a little, if it's not there outside, if you don't have an easy post play, then just knock down a 15-footer. Just some old school basketball. You like to see that. And I'm pretty sure Nelly hit 2 of those tonight. But it's good to see that part. If he's going to do that, I'm fine with that. Just for the love of God, just stop with the layups. Even if you're wide open, just don't, Nelly. You're scaring me when you've got the ball and you're heading towards the rim. You scare me, sir. So, again, just 6 second chance points, but they did have 40 points in the paint. Not surprising when you look at the lineup. Nelly Davis had 36 minutes tonight. That would lead all Razorbacks, 36. Carter Knox was getting a lot of minutes here, 33. And then you had, DJ Wagner with 28, Big Z with 28 minutes, Adu Thero with 27, and Billy Richmond with 22. Yeah, Richmond didn't have a lot of points tonight, but on the defensive end of the floor, he brings so much value to this team. And it's nice. You may not get the point production off the bench, but you get moments from Jonas Adu. We saw it tonight. Billy Richmond, Brazil, where they do provide you some flexibility on the defensive end of the floor, where they're going to slap balls, they're going to be aggressive on rebounds. They may not always get them, but they're going to, by God, they're going to run for them. They're going to hustle. The execution may not always be there with these guys coming off the bench, but they do provide some decent defensive possessions. And Billy Richmond tonight, really great. I mean, honestly, I thought his defensive effort tonight was fantastic. Really was. How many threes did we take? Well, Arkansas, again, they only took 12. I don't know if you guys are talking to one another, but I'm kind of chiming in the middle of a conversation there, I think, but just 12 attempts if you're asking me. Hey, Ty, 8 second games. Oh, SEC, my bad. I'm tired, man. It's 10:40 and it's been a long day. Hey, Ty, 8 SEC games left in the regular season, 5-3 the rest of the way get us in. I think it does. Yeah, for sure. Of course it would. I mean, you're 3-7. You don't have to get 5 more. You're 3-7, or excuse me, 4. You got 4 conference wins, right? Hold on. Am I tripping? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they won tonight. 4. So no, I don't think they need 5 more. I think they just need 4 more wins and they should be fine. And I don't care how you get them, whether it's at home or on the road. Like, you don't have any more just embarrassing games outside of South Carolina. That'll be on the road. South Carolina, I mean, you saw tonight, they took Ole Miss. I told you guys, man, it doesn't matter who you are. They're going to take you down to the final minute, and they're going to force you to play those final 4 or 5 possessions where you better be on your toes. And that game is such a trap game for Arkansas, because you got to turn around. You got to go to another place that plays really good at home, and that's Vanderbilt. You got Texas before that on the 26th. So, but I think 4 more does it. I think 4 more and you're fine. Some people are even arguing just 3 more. I don't know if it's that. I don't know. But I feel like 4 should be fine. If you beat A&M at A&M, which, wow, how big of a game would that be? Maybe that explains tonight's kind of the lull tonight. Right? Maybe that explains some of it. Maybe they're looking ahead for this A&M game. You know, I don't know. But I'm just saying they did look a little off tonight, and I wonder if they're just getting ready for this A&M game. And that's why we saw some of the bigs. It wasn't just the matchup. Maybe you know, Cal's got something cooking. I don't know. I don't listen. I'll be real with you guys. I don't know how to feel about A&M. I'm not going to say whether or not is A&M at the table. Are they within reach? I think they are. Thank God it's an 11 a.m. tip-off. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Although you got to follow that up with an 8 p.m., a 7 p.m., and an 8 p.m., and you get a 12 p.m. on Saturday, March 1st against South Carolina, and then you end the regular season with an 11 a.m. tip-off against Mississippi State on a Saturday. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. But, no, I really think 4 more, and it's just, to me, I think it's a no-brainer. With the way the net rankings are, Arkansas continues to climb. I think they're in, man. I really do. Just get 4 more. I think it's a lock. Which, if you get 4 more, that means you got to beat someone worth a damn, because you've got A&M, Auburn, Missouri, Texas, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. So 2 of those wins have got to be a couple of pretty decent wins. So for sure, with those quad 1 opportunities left on the table, yeah, and just get 4 and you're good. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys disagree. Oof. Oy vey. I think it comes down to the South Carolina game. When we in, lose we out. Well, it could. It could, James, but it depends if you take care of business before that game. I've said all along, you could be setting yourself up for a tough, like you may have to figure it out with those last 4 games. Texas, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. And to be fair, I think you win half those. I really do. In fact, I think you could win 3 out of 4 of those. One of South Carolina's problems, they play you really good until the end, and then they just, sometimes I've watched them play, and they just get this, they either run out of gas and they can't finish off the game, or the opponent just makes some crazy play in the final couple possessions, and it puts South Carolina out, But I don't know. I think that game you should be fine. We'll see. I mean if you win or lose it. But again, it just depends on what you do leading up to it. Now, if you go on a losing streak here, if you lose to A&M, you lose to Auburn, and you lose to Missouri, you lose these next 3, then yeah, that's going to apply. That's what I mean. All of a sudden now, these last 4 games, Texas, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, and Mississippi State, have a lot riding on them. So, and Courtney Mims and I have talked about this. Blake Lovell, I remember he and I talking about this a while back, about how the SEC tournament, again, Blake Lovell, who's on Southeastern 16, he's a friend of the show. He's been on a bunch of times. We've talked about this. Like the selection committee, their minds are pretty much already made up. Obviously, outside of automatic qualifiers, they've already kind of made up their minds by the time tournaments roll around. I don't know, because of how much better these teams are in the net ranking, if that changes anything or not. Like, let's say Arkansas's got a losing streak. They only have 2 more SEC wins left. And what happens if they go into the tournament and they win 2 or 3 games? They're already kind of on the edge. Shouldn't that be enough to get them in? Shouldn't those games matter? I think they should. If you're going to have these damn conference tournaments, then they should be meaningful games, and they ought to be taken into consideration. Now, I've always believed, Musselman never really I'm not saying he didn't go into the SEC tournament to lose out, but you could tell the guy just wanted to move on to March Madness. He wanted to move on to the NCAA tournament, but not all coaches view it that way necessarily. I think a lot of coaches do. Now, in baseball, I think it's stupid. I'll just be real. I think I know it's like, oh, it's Hoover, Alabama. It's a big deal. Who gives a shit? I think it's just so unnecessary. Stop at the or with the conference tournaments in baseball. Please stop. Basketball, it's a little bit more understanding. I kind of get it. I also understand the other side where they're like, why do we need these? I agree with that too. But I think if you're going to have these damn games, they should have an impact on teams that are on the edge, right? But I don't know that they do. So, ow, it's pulling my beard hair. Ow, shit. Oh, God, that hurt. My own gold chain. It's attacking my face. So, yeah, if you go on a losing streak here, if you can't overcome, and that's why this LSU game was so huge. If you go on a losing streak, you lose these next 3, which would include 2 road games and a home game against Missouri. Boy, oh boy, does that make these last 4 games huge. So you either need to take care of business against Missouri, at least, stop the bleeding. Don't continue to lose. Beat Missouri. That'll be a quad 1. It should be a quad 1, even still at that point on February 22nd. So that's not that far away. Win that game, which the way they played tonight, they wouldn't beat Missouri. I'll be real with you. Missouri's going to sweep you if you play like you did tonight. And again, that's a 7 p.m. on a Saturday. It's not 8, at least. It's not an 8 p.m. game, but it's a 7 p.m. on a Saturday night. Maybe you could beat A&M at College Station. Holy crap. You talk about a jumper in your net ranking. That would really help alleviate a lot of the pressure. But it still doesn't mean you can lose. You can't lose your next 3 games. Doesn't mean, well, now we can lose to Auburn and Missouri and Texas and we'll be fine. Not necessarily. Although it would feel like, damn, that's probably a lock if you beat A&M, but I don't think so. I think you still got to take care of business. No, you do. You still got to take care of business. A&M would not be enough to make it a lock for the Arkansas Razorbacks. And you could think that in large part to your, these close losses at home, your loss to Ole Miss, your loss to Oklahoma that was close, your loss on the road to LSU. Like, you could think those losses, for it being the situation. Again, January matters a lot, and it's for this very reason. Now you're scraping for wins where you can get them so you can lock up the tournament. So, wow. Okay. Anyways, well, I guess that's going to do it for tonight. I appreciate everyone. Make sure, hey, we got some hold on. We had where'd it go? Maryland and Nebraska. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to this. This could be a good one. Maryland and Nebraska for anyone that's on BroThrow. If you want to go lay down a peer-to-peer bet. Well, I don't know why this is being so stupid. Anyways, it's not letting me pull it up. I don't know what's going on. OBS with this update has messed everything up. But you got Nebraska and Maryland. Make sure you use your promo code Tusk, all caps. That could be an interesting game. It's something to keep an eye on. Nebraska at home, favored at 1.5. 1.5 over number 25 ranked Maryland. Nebraska could be pretty tough at home. They're 16-8. That might be a game worth keeping an eye on. There we go. Here it is. Good grief. I don't know what that was all about. There it is. Let's pin that down there. So there's the game. If you want to take a look at it, that is BroThrow. Again, promo code Tusk, all caps. That's one to keep an eye on, man. Maryland or Nebraska favored at 1.5. So in the over-under right now at 147.5. 147.5 is the over-under there. So, all right. Awesome. Okay. Let's put it into this poll. Can Arkansas win out? 73% of you say yes. So we'll see if they can do that. Obviously, if they can do that, it'd be wonderful. And you're a lock if you can do that, right? That's a lock if you win out at home for sure. Yeah. I mean, that's Missouri, Texas, and Mississippi State. all 3 quad 1 wins. So you're in if you win out at home. It's that simple. All right. I appreciate everybody. Don't know if I'm going to go live tomorrow or not. I might try to get in with Blake Level. I've just been kind of busy this week. But if not, I'll be back for the postgame on Saturday. But make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That way you know when I go live. I know, again, notifications are still a problem, but not much I can do about it. But, yeah, come hang out with us if we are live with Blake Level or whoever. I don't know, maybe I can get Mason Choate on the last minute to talk a little Arkansas baseball. They start off. By the way, we had a change on the schedule. I don't know if you guys caught this for the baseball game, but now we're getting a doubleheader on Friday. So 12 p.m. against Washington State, and then I think, what they say, 45 minutes after the game's over, they're going to follow up the with game 2. So you're getting 2 games on Friday, man, starting at 12. So there you go. You got something to listen to on the radio or watch on your phone while at work, while you're on the crapper. Yeah, I said it. I just called you out. You know, we all do it. Your boss does it. You know your boss does it too. So don't feel too bad about it. All right, everybody. Have a good night, and I'll see you when I see you.